Life can be a pinch, believe me. From navigating romantic relationships, friendships, figuring out how to use the bathroom alone for once, mommies know the deal on this, to adjusting to all those changes because of this pandemic. Sometimes you just need to catch a break, and I'm right there with you. Hi, I'm Whitney B. Rochester, and this is the She Knows It podcast, a 30-minute sit-down and unwinding session to unravel your mind and your heart. If you're new here, welcome to this judgment-free space. If you're a returning listener, thanks so much for coming back. Follow me on Instagram at sheknowsit.podcast or sending your comments, feedback, or advice questions to sheknowsitpodcast@gmail.com. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the She Knows It podcast. I'm Whitney B. Rochester, and I'm so glad that you've decided to join me here in this space for our very first girl chat. Welcome to everybody who's listening from YouTube or all the other major streaming platforms. Also, a very big welcome and happy birthday to anybody who is celebrating a birthday today or has celebrated a birthday for the month already or is waiting to celebrate their birthday for this month. Also want to give a very special welcome to anybody who is having a bad day today. You know, sometimes things can be rough, and I really do hope that listening to this episode, you'll feel a little bit more relaxed, you let your hair down, and you'll have a little laugh, and things will get better in short order. So guys, today I want to talk about labor and delivery. Now listen. Let me put out this disclaimer first that I have had three vaginal deliveries, and all three of them were different experiences. And I mean, pregnancy is different for everybody. So if it is that you are thinking about having children, please do not let this discourage you. Every pregnancy is different. Everybody's body is built differently. And so each experience will be different. And for those who have had cesarean section, C-section as we call it, I don't know if labor pain or labor and delivery is similar or the same for you, because I haven't had that experience. All three, as I said, of my kids came out vaginally, and so I can only speak from that perspective. Now let me say something. You see, if you never know Jesus before, you're gonna know Jesus now. Remember, I tell you, my first child really opened me to that reality. When I was 19, I gave birth to my first daughter, and I don't know if it's because my body did green and it never know the road yet, but remember, I tell you, say, that little girl, I never know nothing about myself before. I know say I could have float when a time for me have that baby. You hear what I say? If me never know nothing about myself before, I know say I could have float now. Because when I went in, I actually went into the hospital on Wednesday because I was feeling, discomfort. I wouldn't say it's pain, but it was uncomfortable. So I went in, and then the Thursday now, when they did their checks, when the doctors did their rounds and they did their checks, they were saying I was still at 2 centimeters dilated. No, I could have tell you everything on what to expect. Website, babycenter.uk, I could have read everything, every material. So in my mind, yeah man, I'm good man, I'm well prepared. But actually, you're not really ever prepared for labor because you don't know what the pain is gonna be like or the magnitude of pain. So all if you read 1 million book, nothing ever prepares you for the physical part of the pain that you're gonna go through. And remember, it is going to be painful. Let me tell you that it is gonna be hot. It's got hot. And you feel like you want to tear off your clothes or the skin off of your body, the way how you feel pain and discomfort. Hello? So yes, I go in now, and based on what I've read or what I read, they said that when you are dilating, the pain gets worse because the pain gets gradually more intense when you are, your cervix is dilating or opening up, for those who don't know. So Thursday now, may I feel one breed of pain. When they did their rounds and they checked, they said, boy, you're still at 2 centimeters. I said, what? What you saying? It can't be. Hey, Friday they check at the same 2 centimeters, and I feel like I was gonna die. So I when I say pain, I mean like it feel like pins and needles are run up and down in your back, the lower part of your back. And for those who have had vaginal deliveries, if you know me I talk about, just comment. Let me know that is not me alone. I'm not be extra, okay? So now Friday I was there, and the nurse checked and she said you're still at 2, and the doctor checked, she said you're still at 2. He said you're still at 2 because it's 2 doctors. So anyway, they said, I'm going to send you home so you can go have sex because your cervix is not opening fast enough, based on the time that you're in here, and the labor ward is not a hotel. I started to get worried now at 19, because suppose I go home and the baby decide to come out. I can't deliver baby, and my mother is a nurse, but she can't deliver baby neither. So what are we gonna do? So anyways, I go in Saturday morning, because I never want to send mom. Them give me they gave me Baralgene that day. Saturday now when they checked me, just as they were about to sign the discharge form, the doctor checked me again, and she said, oh, the baby, I know what time it is. You're at 4 centimeters, so that means you're in active labor. I said, yes, thank you, Jesus. 4 centimeters coming from 2 is a big deal, because now you are in active labor, so them can't send you home. And when I say the joy that I felt when they broke the headwater, listen, Jesus. At them time that the pain get worse, and I know I could have float in other place there. Because not only was I feeling pins and needles in the lower part of my back, I started to now feel it in the bottom of my belly, on the top of my belly. I felt as though the baby was already in the canal there. That part to come out. I could not sit down. I could not stand up. I could not lay down on the side, as they said. Lay down on the side. Lay down on the left side so the blood can circulate. Yeah. I couldn't do that. I couldn't lay down on the right side. I could not do nothing. I don't know. That's why I feel like I was floating. Because I can't walk, I can't sit down, I can't stand up, and I can't lay down neither. It was so intense. And when I say it's as though the pain was in the lower part of my back, the lower part of my abdomen, and at the top of my my belly there. And then I felt pain in my chest, pain in my head, like an instant migraine that would not go away. Hello, please. My hands started to get numb. My feet started to get numb. Only God himself could have tell me how I get on that delivery bed when I was 19. And as I said, for context, I don't know if it's because my body was green and just I get prime up to this thing here. But trust me. So now I move on 2 years, well, let me see, 5, almost 6 years later, I went again. And I got another girl. But this time, and I went in incidentally this time for the pain that I was feeling on a Wednesday. Went in, same thing, pain and all of that. Well, now that we reached the Saturday, doctor said, okay, we're going to send you home because, you're not progressing as we want you to progress. Anyways, gone on, they checked and, sent cervix start dilating and them keep me there, and I felt like Jesus. But the thing is, I think it's because I went through the process before, so your body starts to get acclimatized with the process. because for me, the second time around when I had my next daughter, I felt like the pain, I could have boom flicked through the pain. You know, you can't boom flick through the pain with a belly. I mean, I see people do it, but right. So it was moderate. It was not as painful as the first one. And I felt like, you know, this is manageable, because even while I was at 8 centimeters dilated, I only felt the tightening of my belly, so to speak, the contractions, but it was not as deathly as the first baby that I had. I could use the bathroom, I could walk around, I could, do things. And when I was at 8 centimeters dilated, the nurse said to me, you're supposed to get augmentin for the pain. Do you still want to take it? And I said, no, like I'm only 2 centimeters away. Forgive me that. She said, you're strong enough, my girl. And I said, yes. Because I don't want you tell me, say, you're going to give me augmentin for no pain. And it goes send on the pain worse. You know what I mean? Yeah. One thing I wanted to let you know, though, that with the first one, my labor was induced, and I don't think that it has any bearing really on the pain that you're supposed to feel, because listen, regardless, you're going to feel pain whether or not they induce you. And if you are pregnant right now and you're listening, don't be afraid of being induced. The doctors know that they doing that is only to assist you to progress quickly in this last stage of the pregnancy, because they don't want the baby to go into distress, and they don't want you to go into distress. So it's in your best interest if they tell you that they're gonna induce labor. Now let me just say this: before I was induced, and they gave me that bit of information, I told my mother, I said it to her, I also said it to my aunt. I know everybody I pray, and they don't want nothing to happen to you and all of that. So in all of this now, my auntie get into a frenzy, because her thing is, Lord, you go feel like fire run down in the tube them in your hand, and you go feel like a pepper burn you, and it go hot, and the worst pain you go feel in your life. Let me just say that if you are pregnant right now and you're listening to this, don't be afraid if you're going to be induced, because as I said, you're going to feel pain regardless, and it will not stop until you have that baby. Just look at the brighter side of things. If you have been induced, if your labor was induced and you're listening to this on YouTube, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience was like. Because I know it's not nothing normal. I know nothing normal. But at the same time, it is a joy when you have your child. Listen, that relief that you feel after, oh my God, this pain is hot. After you have been through that little phase there, that little stage there, is when you really know, so say, and you push out that baby. Trust me, the first thing I said when I had my second child was, thank you, Jesus, I'm not pregnant again. Merciful Savior divine. So if you were induced, if your labor was induced, let me know in the comments. Share your experience with me. Let the women who are pregnant know that it's not the worst, it's not the end of the world. Yes, your body still works. Sometimes we all need a little assistance, if you know what I mean. Right. So now for the third child, for the third baby, I have a son now, the third one. And I mean, I bawl. But now it's not a lie. I bawled this third time. But the thing is, with this pregnancy, I started to feel the pain from Monday. But in my mind, okay, I've always been having Braxton Hicks contractions, which actually get more frequent toward your second trimester and your third trimester, because now your body is prepping for, the real thing, which is labor and delivery. So I'm saying, okay, I've been getting Braxton Hicks contractions, but what I did not know was that while I was feeling these Braxton Hicks contractions, quote unquote, on the Monday, my body was actually contracting. I was actually in labor. I was in the latent state of labor. I was feeling pain, and then I was contracting, but I didn't know that it was labor I was in. So Tuesday morning, no 4 o'clock, I was jerked out of my sleep by this sharp piece of pain, and it's like the pain got more intense. I could not, when I sit down, I feel it wicked under my belly button. I get up, I walking around, and no matter what I do, because the difference is for pregnant people right now, if you don't know, if it's your first pregnancy, you're not sure. The first, let me tell you that Braxton Hicks contractions, you'll know that they are Braxton Hicks by you. If you move or change your position, it stops. Whereas with real contractions, no matter what you do, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. You can't shake the feeling of pain that you're gonna be having. So now I walk up and down and I say, no man, I live man, because no matter what I do, I walked, I was pacing in my living room, I sit down on the toilet seat, I go and I try to lay down, but it's like it got more intense. By the time I got to the hospital, 9 o'clock on the Tuesday morning, and the doctor did her exam and so on. She said, you're 5 centimeters down. I said, what? She said, yes. I said, but the water don't break. I'm not having any show, I'm not seeing any sign, as we love say, we're not seeing a sign. And so how come I'm 5 centimeters dilated? She said, because you've been here before twice, so your body already knows what to do. And I think that contributed to the fact that this time around with my son, I really and truly think him as a champion. But I really and truly did not feel that much pain, and the labor was shorter, quicker. Quick. So I went in 9 and I had baby by 1:30, which is great, because with my other two, with going in from Wednesday and not having baby till hours Saturday, both of them coming out of the hospital on Sunday. So I'm really and truly thankful that I had all 3 vaginally, and nothing is wrong if you had to do a C-section or if you're elected to do a C-section. But I'm glad that I had them vaginally. I'm glad also that I had safe deliveries for all 3 of them, because listening, pregnancy in and of itself is a huge sacrifice. I was talking to my husband the other day, and I was telling him that the fact that my body is primed and able to produce another human being is a big deal for me, and I am just truly thankful to God that He has given me this ability to produce kids, because they are a blessing. And even though you can't get to use the bathroom by yourself for the first couple of years, you can't do nothing, you can't put nothing in your mouth for yourself, and then there's this thing called mom guilt that we'll talk about in another episode. But you're not by yourself for the first couple of years. But let me say, cherish all of these moments, because you see, and I can relate from both ends of the spectrum. Being as when I was little, I used to stick to my mother like glue. But then getting older, you want your independence. Where you follow me come to school for, where you put me on bus for, me and a baby again. So cherish the moments when they are small. Build that relationship. Is not always easy, because every child is different. They learn differently and all of that. Your situations vary, but cherish the moments. And I don't think that labor and delivery, your birth stories, are something that you ever forget. It's like learning to drive a car or riding a bicycle. You don't ever forget it. I have to go now, but let me just say, yeah, like this video if you're listening from YouTube. Comment in the comment box. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you never have a baby before, what are your thoughts now with this revelation? What are your Give me a feedback. Let me know, what we can talk about, because I want to be able to connect with you and let you, and reason, make a whole lot of reason, so if you're listening from YouTube, like the video, comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to share with your friends, share with your family, put it by your Instagram. Subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when a new episode drops. If you have not yet followed me on Instagram, please do. It's sheknowsit.podcast. Remember that the second Tuesday of every month I will be sharing, giving advice, from a life coach's perspective. So you can email me your questions. Tell your friend to email me a question. It will be totally, completely clandestine. It will be anonymous, so nobody not going to know your identity. Email it to me, sheknowsitpodcast@gmail.com, and let's work through it together. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for sharing, for liking, for commenting, for following, and I will see y'all next week.